Okay, so in the last lecture, we were talking about the layering protocols, or we can say layering tasks. So before that, we need to define what is protocol. So can anyone say what is protocol? Protocol क्या है? What is protocol?
Set of defined rules.
Okay, set of defined rules. So we can say if we were two persons want to communicate, they should be agreed upon some protocols. That means they should be agreed upon some set of rules that they can use during their communication. So that is known as the protocols. The same way, when two computers are communicating, we require some protocols that should be agreed by this both computer, and then communication is possible. Okay. So then we are talking about the layering task. So what is the advantage of making the layers in the task? What can be advantage of creating the layers in the task? Can anyone say what is the advantage of creating layers in the task? This thing we have discussed. Okay, so advantage of layering is we can say that we can divide our complex task into the simpler ones. Okay, for example, let's say two friends are there. Okay, they are in the same place and they want to communicate with each other. Okay, दो friend है आप और आपका friend दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ कुछ बात करना चाहते हो. Okay, so अगर आप एक ही कमरे में हो, then there is no need of, we can say, some addressings are needed. Okay, if you and your friends both are in the same room, okay, and if you two wants to communicate, then we require the simple protocols. So that protocol what indicate that you and you will meet, then आप आपके फ्रेंड के साथ मिलोगे, उसके साथ ग्रीट करोगे. then we require some simple rules that पहले आपको ग्रीटिंग करना है, उसके बाद आप दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ बात कर रहे हो, तो जो भी लैंग्वेज में बात कर रहे हो वो दोनों एक दूसरे को पता होना चाहिए. ओके. थर्ड थिंग इज it should be not monologue communication, or we can say it should be bi-directional communication. Okay, for example, जैसे ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जैसे मैं अभी लेक्चर ले रहा हूँ तो खाली मैं ही बोल रहा हूँ, आप रिप्लाई नहीं दे रहे हो, कोई भी रिप्लाई नहीं दे रहा है. ओके, दैट शुड नॉट बी कम्युनिकेशन हैपन ड्यूरिंग द रियल टाइम, वी कैन सी नेटवर्किंग कम्युनिकेशन. लाइक एक ही बोल रहा है और बाकी सब सुन रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. ओके, it should be bi-directional communication. You and your friends both should be able to communicate. And fourth thing is, whenever you are leave, you should be leave by saying some good words. Okay, like say goodbye or like that. Okay, so this requires some simple protocols when you are talking with your friends in the, we can say, single place. Okay, आप एक ही कमरे में एक दूसरे के साथ बात कर रहे हो, तो ऐसे सिंपल प्रोटोकॉल हमको चाहिए. Okay, but let's say your friend has got the good job. Okay, your friend has got the good job, he is placed in some USA based company like the Amazon, Google. Okay, and he is moved to that place. Okay, now आप, the situation is again आपको एक दूसरे के साथ बात करनी है. Okay, now your friend is at some good place, so he wants that जो भी बात कर रहे हैं वो, there should be some secure communication. Okay, that should not be anyone who should listen that communication. Okay, so क्या करेंगे, now this task is somewhat complex. Okay, पहले तो सिंपल था कि आप और आप फ्रेंड एक ही कमरे में थे तो इजीली बात कर सकते थे. Okay, now क्या हुआ कि आपका फ्रेंड मूव हो गया यूएसए में और आपको अगेन एक दूसरे के साथ बात करनी है. So we can't use that simple protocols like greet करेंगे, ऐसा करेंगे, वैसा करेंगे. Okay, the thing is, this complex task is we need to divide these into the various layers. Okay, so for example, there are two friends are there, Maria and N. Okay, here you can see that two friends are there, Maria and N, and they both want to communicate. So we can divide this task into the various layers. Okay, first layer पे we can have functionalities that listen and talk. Okay, on the layer number 3, the both can either listen or talk. Okay, now on the second layer we have functionality that there should be secure communication, that no other person can see that whatever you and your friends are communicating. So what can do on the layer number 2, we can apply some encryption and decryption procedure on the layer number 2. Okay, then we can say on the layer number 1 we have the send mail and receive mail functionality, that if you assume that you are performing this communication through the posted mail. Okay, so we can say that on the layer 1 you have the send mail and receive mail functionalities. Okay, so what happened on the layer number 3, okay, you whatever you want to send, okay, that using that you will create the plain text, normal text, whatever you want to send to your friends. Okay. On the layer 2, you want to apply the security. So we have the functionalities of encryption and decryption. So some encryption decryption algorithms are provided, and you will create the ciphertext. On the layer 1, we require that we need to send this thing by the postal mails. So what we will do, we will put this text into some envelope, okay, and provide this envelope into the mailbox. Okay, mailbox will be mail will be taken, or we can say your envelope will be taken from this Maria to the M. Okay, at the end side, what happened? At the layer 1, we need to unwrap the envelope. At the layer 1, we need to unwrap the envelope. So we got that ciphertext. Okay. Again, it is the secure communication. So we need to apply the decryption process. So we'll get the original plain text, and that things can be here by the N. Okay. So here we have this complex task of performing the remote communication. We have divided into 3 layers. First layer is listen talk. Second layer is encrypt decrypt, and third layer is send mail and receive mail. Okay. So what is the advantage of this layering? So the first thing is this complex task is to divide it into the simpler ones. Okay. Now another advantage of this layering is we can say the modularity. Okay. What is the meaning of modularity? That each and every layers are independent to each other. Okay. So each layer can either we can say take the data from the other layers or send the data from to the another layers. Okay. Like for this layer 2 can take the plain text from the layer 3, and this layer 2 can send the ciphertext to layer 1. Okay. So although there are dependencies are there, but that is only related with the send and receive some data. Okay. So these, what are the functionalities at layer 3 that is not dependent on the layer number 2. Okay. That whatever functionalities at layer 2 that is not dependent on the layer 1. Okay. So layers are dependent only in case of the design, only in case of the send and receive. In case of the design, they are independent to each other. Okay. On the layer 3, we can either listen or talk. On the layer 2, either we can encrypt or decrypt. On the layer 1, either we can send mail or receive mails. Okay. In case of this, we can say send and receive, they are dependent, but in case of the functionalities, they are independent. For example, let's say on the layer 2, if you find out that encryption decryption is not sufficient for the security, okay, so you can replace these things by some another things. Okay. So you don't need to think about the whole we can say sending a receiving procedure. If you find out that there is a problem with the encryption decryption, you need to make the changes only at the layer number 2. Okay. Now some of the things about these layerings are there. Okay. Like at the end of the layer, we have the same identical objects. For example, at the layer number 3, we have the plain text. Okay. At the layer number 2, at the end of layer number 2, we have the ciphertext, and the end of the layer 1, we have the mails. Okay. Now at the sender side and receiver side, both are performing the different functionalities. For example, at the layer 3, we have the talk. Then at the receiving side, at the layer 3, we have the listen. At the layer 2, we have the encrypt at the sending side. Then at the end side, we can have a decrypt at the layer number 2. At the layer 1, we have the send mail, and at the receiving side, we should have a receive mail. So the thing is, both should be perform the opposite functionalities. One should be listen, the another should be talk. One should be encrypt, the another should be decrypt. One should be send, another should be receive. Okay. So these are the advantage of layering. Okay. The first advantage is we can divide our complex tasks into simpler ones. Another advantage is the functionalities is only related with the particular layer. Okay. For example, let's say these things we have we can say we have designed only one simple protocol to perform all these functionalities, and now you find out that there should be a problem with the encryption decryption process. So what you will do, that let's say if you have make the algorithm for 100 lines and you require that you should be changed at the line number 5. Okay. So what you will need to do, you will perform the change at the line number 5 and again implement that things. Okay. So there should be very complex task that you should be find out that what is the problem at the line number 5. फिर पता चलेगा कि लाइन नंबर 5 कहाँ है, उस पर चेंज किया, उसको अगेन इम्प्लीमेंट किया और फिर से कम्युनिकेशन स्टार्ट किया. Okay. So better approach is using the layers. Okay. You will find out that there is a problem with the encryption decryption, then you need to perform the modification only at the layer number 2. Okay. And third advantage is like that the every layers are independent to each other, that they can either send or receive something from the another layers. Okay. Another thing is we can assume that there is a logical connection between each and every layers. For example, layer 3 of this Maria can talk with the layer 3 of this N. Okay. So this we can say, we will assume that Maria and N both are listening and talking. Actually, the communication is performed through this, we can say, postal service, but we can assume that each and every layers can communicate with each other. That is not the original communication, but we can say there is a logical connection through which we can say that some logical communications are there. Okay. So Maria and N both can listen and talk at the layer number 3. Okay. At the layer number 2, layer number 2 of Maria and layer 2 of N both can communicate with each other through the ciphertext. And layer 1 of Maria and layer 1 of N both can communicate with each other through this mail service. Okay. So we will assume that there is a logical connection between each and every layers. So this should be advantageous when we see our original protocols. We will assume that there is a, we can say, layering, there is a logical connection between each and every layers. Okay. So now we are moving to our original protocol, whose name is TCP/IP protocols. Okay. So what is the need of this TCP/IP protocols? Okay. And we can say that TCP/IP is a layering protocols. Okay. Like we have seen that the task of this networking is not a simpler one. Okay. We will see that there are lots of addresses are there, lots of, we can say, devices are there, lots of protocols are there. So it is not like that we can divide the algorithms of 10,000 lines and we can use this algorithm for the networking. Okay, it may possible that if there is a problem at the line number 100, then we need to again modify the whole algorithms, and again we need to implement that things. So advantage is we need to divide this networking task into the various layers, and for that the various protocols are designed, in which the first protocol is TCP/IP. Okay. So TCP/IP is a protocol suite used in the internet today. This is the protocol that is used by most of the networking devices today. This protocol is implemented in all of the machines which are used in the networkings. Okay. It is a hierarchical protocol made of interactive modules, each of which provides a specific functionalities. So in which various layers are there, and each layer has its own functionalities. Okay. So originally it was defined as 4 software layers that is built upon the hardware. Okay. There are 4 software layers, they are built upon the hardware, but later they find out that this hardware we can also include into the one layers. So that's why they agreed upon the 5 layers. So we'll see that what are those 5 layers are there. Okay. So before that, what is the need of these TCP/IP protocols? So for example, let's say the history says that the 1970, when the networking was started, the major problem was interoperability. What is the meaning of interoperability? That whatever communication was done, that is platform dependent. What is the meaning of platform dependent? For example, let's say there are 2 machines are there and both are Dell's machines. Okay, so then they can communicate with each other. But let's say one computer is of Dell, another machine is of Apple, then they cannot communicate with each other. Okay. So the problem was there that the machines can communicate only when they are with the same configurations. Okay. Either Dell can communicate with the Dell. Okay. Apple can communicate with the Apple. Okay. Mac can communicate with the Mac. So there is a problem with the interoperability, that suppose at the sender side we are using the Dell machines, and at the receiving side the receiver is using the Apple machines, then there is a problem. Okay, there is a problem of interoperability, that इधर हम विंडोज में कुछ अलग फॉर्मेट यूज कर रहे हैं और वहां पे वी कैन से एप्पल में कुछ अलग फॉर्मेट यूज कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो जो भी हम सेंड करेंगे वो रिसीवर के पास पहुंचेगा, बट this receiver will not able to understand. Okay, so the thing is we require some common protocols that can be used by the every users. whether it can be Windows users or whether it can be Linux users or whether it can be Mac users. Okay, so anyone should be able to perform the communication. आप कोई भी machine use कर रहे हो, there we require some common protocols that can be used by the every users. Okay, so here we require some protocols. So some task was assigned to the various organizations, in which the first organization was ISO. Okay, so ISO has designed this protocol whose name is TCP/IP. Okay, so this protocols is consist of the various layers, and if multiple users are there and multiple users are using the different types of machines, still they can communicate with each other. So based on this aim, this protocols was designed, and in today's market, or we can say today's networking, everyone is using this TCP/IP protocols. Okay, but before that, there is one model whose name is OSI that is also going to be designed. Okay, so in the 1970, when there is a, can anyone say what is the first network? What is the first network in the history of computers?
ARPANET.
ARPANET. Okay, ARPANET is the first network in the history of computers. So when ARPANET was invented, as I have said, the major problem was that platform dependent. That if the two different machines are there, okay, if two different machines are there, like एक Windows का है और एक Mac का है, then they are not able to perform the communication. So we require some standard protocols that can be used on any type of devices. Okay, so by using that, they have defined some project that if any organization want to define any project, then you can work on this project. Okay, so they have decided one project. The main aim of this project is to create one, we can say, platform independent system that can work on any type of machines. Okay, so there are two types of organizations. One is ISO and another one is, I think, for the TCP/IP one, another organizations are there. So they both are working on the same project. Okay, their goal is same, that we need to design some interoperable protocols, or we can say some interoperable system that can work on any type of machines. Okay, so the ISO has designed the OSI, and while there's another organization has designed the TCP/IP. Okay, so this OSI model was invented in the 1970, in which the total 7 layers are there. And the main goal of this OSI is OSI can work on any type of networks. Whether it can be computer to computer communication, it can be telephone to telephone communications, or any type of communications are there on which this OSI model can work. Okay, but before that, this ISO will publish this OSI model. Okay, in the we can say 1960 something, that TCP/IP is already published, and majority of system has implemented that TCP/IP systems. So it is difficult to move from TCP/IP to OSI. Okay, so that's why majority of the communication system is currently using the TCP/IP. Okay, so already in the OSI, the 7 layers are there, but we can say that majority functionalities of these OSI layers are now included into the TCP/IP. Okay, so it was first introduced into the late 1970s, and there are total 7 layers are there. Okay, but in the real time systems, we are using only TCP/IP models. Okay, so just wait for some time. Okay, so the 7 layers, we can say the 5 layers in the TCP/IP. Again, we will go to the OSI in the last, in which the 7 layers are there. Okay, but here in this subject, we are work with the TCP/IP model. So we'll start with the TCP/IP protocol suite. In the TCP/IP, as name suggests, the two protocols are there that again we need to learn. The TCP is transmission control protocol, and IP is the internet protocols. These are the two most common protocols in the network today. So that again we will learn in these two layers. One is the network layer and one is the transport layer, in which we will see these protocols. But by combining these protocols, the name is given whose name is TCP/IP. Okay, And the full form of OSI is the Open System Interconnection. Again, we will see this OSI model at the last. Okay, but over here the major, we can say, focus is on the TCP/IP. The thing is your syllabus is designed based on the TCP/IP model, and all the real-time systems, that in the real time whatever networking is performed, that will perform through only the TCP/IP. That's why in the syllabus we have included a TCP/IP model in which the 5 layers are there. Okay, the first layer is physical layer, second layer is data link layer, third one is the network layer, fourth one is the transport, and fifth one is the application layers. Okay, so we can say that on the physical layer we have some hardware devices. Okay, hardware devices like the whatever the communication mediums are there. Okay, whether it can be wired or wireless communications, and signal links are there, that all is included on the physical layers. Then the network interface, that if we are, when your data comes within the network, then what should be happen, that is done through the data link layers. Okay, suppose आपके पास जो router है, router में data is provided to the switch, then there is a task of the switch to perform to switch the then there is a task of the switch to provide that data within the network. So that can be done through the data link layers. Then we have the network layers. If you want to perform the communication between the two networks, then you require the network layers. Then we have the transport layers. Transport layer works when आपके मशीन में एक बार डेटा आ गया, okay, उसके बाद आपको किस प्रोसेस को आपको डेटा असाइन करना है, that is done on the transport layer. For example, let's say on your computer, it may possible that if you are using some FTP application, if you are using some browser like the HTTP application, so एक बार आपके मशीन पे डेटा आ गया, उसके बाद किस प्रोसेस को आपको डेटा असाइन करना है, that is decided by the transport layer. Okay, and finally we have the application layer. So the task of this application layer is to use the various protocols, or you can say use the various applications. Okay, so your syllabus is based on these 5 layers, that physical, data link, network, transport, and application. Then one introduction sessions, that is for one module is there, and this data link layer is again divided into these 2 sub layers. One is data link layer and one is the MAC, that is the medium access control. So based on that, you have the 7 modules in your syllabus. Okay, first one is the introduction, second one is the physical layer, third module is data link layer, fourth module is medium access sub layer, then fifth one is the network layer, sixth one is the transport layer, and seventh one is the application layer. So this is about your syllabus. Okay, so let's take one example, that how this all 5 layers are we can say included in the communication through an internet. So for example, let's say one source is there and one destination is there. Okay, so let's say at the source side, okay, we assume that you are searching something on the Google. Okay, so on the source side, you are the source. Okay, and at the destination side, your Google server is your destination. Okay, now on the application side, okay, so there are 5 layers are there: physical, data link, network, transport, and application. So the all 5 layers are included on the source side, and this all 5 layers are included on the destination side. Okay, so your data is generated on the application layer. So let's say on the source side, okay, at your side you are using some browser. So that browser is working on the application layer. So that browser will generate some data. That browser will generate some data. That data will go on to the transport layer. Now what happened on the transport layer? So in the transport layer, you need to add some type of addresses. Okay, on the transport layer, you need to add some addresses. Okay, but before that, let's say at the source side, you are typing something www.google.com. जब आपने टाइप किया www.google.com, तो पहली रिक्वेस्ट कहाँ पे जाएगी? Can anyone say whenever in your Google Chrome or any type of browser, when you are typing any URL, आपकी पहली रिक्वेस्ट कहाँ पे जाती है? DNS सर्वर पे. ओके, जब आप कुछ भी URL टाइप करते हैं तो आपकी पहली रिक्वेस्ट जाती है DNS सर्वर पे. व्हाट इज द टास्क ऑफ DNS सर्वर? So it will perform the mapping between your URL and IP address. Okay, आपकी URL के accordingly कोई भी एक IP address आपको allocate हुआ होगा, आपके particular server को allocate हुआ होगा. Okay, so whenever you are typing HTTP then //www.google.com, so your first request will go onto the DNS server. On the DNS server, it will find the mapping between those URL and IP address. So using that, you can find out that my destination address is this one. My destination IP address is this one. Okay. So to perform the mapping from URL to the IP address, we require the DNS server. Okay. So DNS server se response aaya. So now you can know that my URL has this IP address. This destination IP address is this one. Okay. Now you are making the HTTP request. So if there is a HTTP request, then some port address are also assigned. Okay. For example, HTTP has port address 80. Okay. Then FTP has port number 23, like that. Okay. So if you are making some HTTP request, then at the transport layer, one address is assigned whose name is port address. Okay. So before that, we see some type of addressing that are used in the networks. Okay. So the addresses that we are used in the networks are, first one is the MAC address. MAC address or physical address. Okay. So that is used at the data link layers, and this MAC address are given in your NIC card. In your own devices, one NIC card is there on which the MAC address is there. Okay. So this MAC address are used on the data link layer. Then on the network layer, we are using the IP address. Okay, so IP address has some format. And can anyone say what is the size of IP address? IP address की size कितनी होती है?
32 bits.
32 bit. Okay, or we can say the 4 decimal numbers. Okay, 192.168.10.1. So in the binary, it can be 32 bit. There are 4 octets of 8 bits that are 32 bit. Or we can say the 4 decimal numbers. Okay. Then on the transport layer, we are using one more address whose name is port address. For example, HTTP has port number 80, FTP has port number 23, like that. Okay. So the transport layer is using the port address. That port address are added with your data. Okay. So transport layer pe there is something that are going to be added whose name is header. Okay, so whenever your data will move from one layer to another layers, one things are going to be added whose name is header. जब भी आपका डेटा एप्लीकेशन से ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर पे आएगा, उस पे एक हेडर ऐड होगा. Same way that data will supply to the network layer. Network layer पे again one more header are going to be added. On the data link layer, one more headers are going to be added, and again on the physical layers, there is no need to add the headers, but that data will be converted to the bits, and then the bits are going to be signals, and signals are going to be transmitted. Okay, but whenever your first data comes to the transport layer, one headers are going to be added. So that header consists of 2 major things. One is the source host address and destination host address. Okay, so on the transport layer, we are using the port address. So for example, if you are making the HTTP request, then on the transport layer, we have the source port address and the destination port address. Okay, so source port address is one address that is assigned by your operating system, and the destination port address, that if you are making the HTTP request, then your destination port address is 80. Okay, so on the transport layer, we have one source port address, that is the port address that is assigned by your operating system, and the destination port address, that is the port address for the HTTP, that is the 80. Okay, so आपका data उस पे attach हुआ port address 80 and the source address that is assigned by your operating system. Okay, now that data will go to the network layer. On the network layer, again one more address are going to be added. Okay, so on the network layer, we are adding the IP address. So on the network layer, the 2 addresses are going to be added, that is the source IP and destination IP. Okay, so source IP will know, and how we can know the destination IP. So for that, we have make the DNS request. Using the DNS request, we know the destination IP. So that destination IP is added on the network layer. Okay, so transport layer पे हमारा port address add हुआ. पोर्ट एड्रेस मतलब सोर्स पोर्ट एंड डेस्टिनेशन पोर्ट। नेटवर्क लेयर पे हमारा आईपी एड्रेस ऐड हुआ, सोर्स आईपी एंड डेस्टिनेशन आईपी। नाउ दैट डेटा विल गो ऑन टू द डेटा लिंक लेयर। डेटा लिंक लेयर पे ऐड होगा वन मोर एड्रेस, उस नेम इज द मैक एड्रेस। तो डेटा लिंक लेयर पे आएगा हमारा सोर्स मैक एंड destination MAC. Okay, and now that data will go on to the physical layer, and physical layer will convert this data into the binary format, and that binary data is again converted to the signals, and signals are going to be transmitted. Okay. Now one more thing is, when you are performing the communication between the Google server, you cannot directly send that data to the Google server. अगर आप गूगल पे कुछ सर्च कर रहे हो तो आपकी रिक्वेस्ट डायरेक्टली गूगल सर्वर पे नहीं जाएगी। ओके, बट दिस डेटा शुड बी पास टू द वेरियस राउटर्स। दैट डेटा शुड बी पास टू द वेरियस स्विचेस एज वेल एज द वेरियस राउटर्स। ओके, सो फॉर एग्जांपल आपका डेटा गूगल सर्वर पे जाएगा तो इंटरमीडिएट बहुत सारे राउटर होंगे। ओके, एंड राउटर्स आर कनेक्टेड थ्रू द स्विच। ओके, तो स्विच इज यूज्ड विद इन द नेटवर्क, and that switch data is going to the router, and router data is again go to the final switch that are connected with your Google server. Okay, so we can say that whenever your data is go to the first switch, okay, so at that time he need to pass to the two more layers, physical and data link layers. Okay, then on the router it has to pass to the all three layers, physical, data link and network. And again on the switch he need to pass only two layers, that is physical and data link layers. Okay, so before that we need to talk about the various types of deliveries. Okay, so we can say that on the data link layer, the data link layer is mainly responsible for, we can say, hope to hope delivery. What is the meaning of hope to hope delivery? That if you want to pass the data to the destinations, first we need to send this data to the first switch to the router to the second switch, and switch to the destination. Okay, so this type of delivery is known as hope to hope delivery, that from source to the switch 1 to the router to the switch 2, and switch to the destination. So this is known as the hope to hope delivery. So for that is data link layer is responsible. Okay, again the second type of delivery is known as host to host delivery. What is the meaning of host to host delivery? That this one is your host and this one is your host. Okay, in case of your communication, you are the host and Google server is the destination host. So for such type of communication, the network layer is responsible. Okay, so for end-to-end delivery, or we can say the host-to-host communication, the network layer is responsible. Okay, now once your data is reached to the destinations, then you need to identify that for particular which process my data is arrived. Okay, for example, let's say on the destinations, the multiple servers are running. One is the HTTP server, one is the FTP server. Okay, one is with possible some telnet servers are there. Okay, so we need to identify that for which server my data is arrived. So for that we require this transport layer, and we need to identify the particular process on the destination side. Okay, so we can say the transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery. That once your data is arrived to the destinations, that we need to identify that particular which process my data is arrived. Okay, so we can say that the transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery, and the application layer is responsible for end-to-end delivery. That on the sending side we have the browser, that is our application. On the receiving side we have the we can say GUI of that HTTP server. Okay, so application is responsible for end-to-end delivery. Transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery. Network layer is responsible for host to host delivery. Data link layer is responsible for hope to hope delivery, and the physical layer is responsible for, we can say, it is the bit to bit delivery.
Mama.
The types of addresses that are used on the various layers. On the data link layer, we are using the MAC address. We'll see the format of the MAC address. What is the format of the MAC address? On the network layer, we are using the IP address. We'll see that what are the various representation of IP address and how they are created and how they are assigned. On the transport layer, we are using the port address, that how the port address are created and how they are assigned. Okay. So these are all about the various types of delivery. So we can have a end-to-end delivery, we can have process-to-process delivery, we can have a host-to-host delivery, we can have a hop-to-hop delivery, and we have a bit-to-bit delivery. Okay. Then the various types of addresses are MAC address, then IP address, and the port address. Okay. Now, how the actual communications are going to be happen. Okay. So when we have the hop-to-hop delivery, that before your data go to the router, it has to pass the various switches. Okay. आपका डेटा आपके नेटवर्क से बाहर निकले उससे पहले उसको वेरियस स्विचेस थ्रू पास होना पड़ेगा. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल हमारा पीपी सवानी का एक नेटवर्क है. ओके, सो बिफोर this network is connected through this router. Okay, we can say this router is gateway router through which the outside data comes to the PP Savani campus. Okay, so before your data reaches to that gateway router, it has to pass through the various switches. Okay, let's say I am present in your lab. Okay, I am present in your lab. So if my data is going through the outside the network, okay, it has to pass through the first switch. Okay, that switch is maybe in that Ruby ma'am's cabin. Okay, then after your data goes to another switch, it may possible that it will be in the admin building. Then after that it will reach to the gateway router. Okay, so for that we require the various addresses whose name is the MAC address. Okay, within the network, if you are performing any communication, then we require only the MAC address. So that's why we need to worry about the physical and data link layer only at the switch. Okay, on the data link layer, we are performing the communication within the networks. So that's why on the switch, we need to worry about the physical and data link. Okay, on the in the second practical also we have seen that switch is responsible for within the network communication. Network के अंदर कुछ ना कुछ communication करना है, then we require this switch. Okay, so that's why on the switch we need to worry about the physical and data link layer. Okay, but at the router, the task of this router is to perform the communication between the two different networks. So जब भी router पे हमारा data आएगा, then we need to worry about the different networks. So that's why on the router we require the one more layer, that is the network layer. Okay, so on the router we need to worry about the all three layers: physical, data link, and network layer. Okay, same way when your data reaches to your destination network, again various switches are there. So that switch we need to worry about the physical and data link layer. But finally, if your data reach to the destination के साइड जो भी सर्वर है वहां पे डेटा पहुंचेगा, उस साइड we need to worry about the all 5 layers: physical, data link, network, transport, and application. Okay, so again we'll come to this example in which we will see one good example. Like suppose browser पे आपने कुछ सर्च किया तो उस पे पोर्ट एड्रेस कैसे ऐड हुआ, नेटवर्क लेयर पे आईपी एड्रेस कैसे ऐड हुआ, फिर कौन सा प्रोटोकॉल फॉलो हुआ और फाइनली डेस्टिनेशन पे कैसे पहुंचा. ओके, उसके लिए हम गुड एग्जांपल देखेंगे. सो क्लियरली आपको सब कुछ पता चल जाएगा. ओके, बट द मेन थिंग अबाउट दिस स्लाइड इज that on the source and destination side we need to worry about the all 5 layers. On the switch we need to worry about only 2 layers: physical and data link. And on the router side we need to worry about the all 3 layers: physical, data link, and networks. Okay, so suppose A want to perform the communication between B, then on the link one we need to worry about the physical data link. On this router we need to worry about the physical data link network, and for this link physical and data link. And again on the destination we need to worry about this all 5 layers: physical, data link, network, transport, and application. Okay, now we have seen that when we have seen this Maria and N example, we have seen there is a logical connection between each and every layers. Okay, so we can say that in your machine you can see that you are sending your data to the Google server. आपको तो ऐसा ही लग रहा है कि आप Google server के साथ communicate कर रहे हो. Okay, but it is passing through the many devices and there is a logical connection between each and every layers. So we can assume that the application layer of source can communicate with the application layer of destination. A transport layer of source can communicate with the transport layer of destinations. So we can assume that this application and this application can communicate. Okay, this port address and this port address both can communicate. Okay, this network layer and this network layer both can communicate like that. Okay, and here on the data link layers, okay, we need to worry about the communication between the source and the router. Okay, so here this data link layer of source and the data link layers of routers can communicate. Okay, then the data link layers of routers and the data link layers of destination can communicate. Okay, so here there is not any physical communication. We are assuming any logical communication between each and every layers. Okay, so here we can have one topology in which the source host and destination host is there, but router is there, and the different LANs are there. Okay, so here we can say that source need to worry about the all 5 layers. Okay, this LAN needs to worry about the 2 layers physical data link. Router need to worry about the all 3 layers. Then switch, this LAN need to worry about the physical data link, and destination need to worry about the all 5 layers. Okay. So what are the identical objects on each and every layers? Okay. So on the application layers, okay, we can say the okay. So after the end of the application layers, जब भी आप गूगल पे सर्च करते हो, ओके, तो फर्स्ट इंक्लूड होता है एप्लीकेशन लेयर. तो एप्लीकेशन लेयर पे आप जो कुछ भी जनरेट करते हो उसको बोलते हैं मैसेज. ओके, एप्लीकेशन लेयर पे आपने ब्राउजर में कुछ भी सर्च किया, then the message are going to be generated. Okay, then message are go to the transport layer, and that message are again divided into the various segments or user diagrams. Okay, तो मैसेज सपोज आपका 1000 बिट्स का मैसेज है, वो वेरियस सेगमेंट में डिवाइड होगा. ओके, सो ऑन द ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर इट इज नोन एज द सेगमेंट्स और यूजर डेटाग्राम्स. ओके, तो मैसेज को डिवाइड करते हैं तो बनते हैं हमारे सेगमेंट, और फॉर ईच एंड एवरी सेगमेंट वी नीड टू ऐड दिस पोर्ट एड्रेस, सोर्स पोर्ट एड्रेस एज वेल एज द डेस्टिनेशन पोर्ट एड्रेस. ओके, उसके बाद whenever this segment go to the network layer, okay, so these segments are again divided into various datagrams. Okay, so on the network, after the end of these network layers, it is known as the datagrams or packets. Okay, after the end of the network layers, it is known as either datagrams or packets. Okay, when that packet goes to the data link layer will again add its own header and trailer, and after the end of the data link layer, they are known as the frames. Okay, then frames are again converted into the bits at the physical layers, and that bits are going to be transmitted. Okay, so after the end of the application layer, we have the message. Okay, after the various messages are combined and they are created the segments. Okay, segments are go on to the network layer and they will create the packets. Packets are go on to the data link layer and they will create the frames. Frames will go on to the physical layer and they will create the bits, and bits are converted into the signals, and signals are going to be transmitted. Okay, so here we can say that the message are between this application layer of source and application layer of destinations. Segments are between the transport layer of source and transport layer of destinations. Okay, the packets are between this network layer of source and the network layer of routers. Okay, then frames are between this data link layer of source and this data link layers of routers, and the bits are between this physical layer of source and the physical layer of this routers. Okay, okay, so our next task is we will see some brief functionalities of each and every layers, that what are the responsibilities of physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, and application layers. And then we need to learn this each and every module in the detail. So again, we will start with the physical layer, that is our module number 2. Then after module number 3, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, and application layer. So application layer is your last module. Okay. So in the next lecture, we will see that what are the functionalities of each and every layer. What is physical layer? What is data link layer? Okay. What is the hope to hope delivery? What is the meaning of hope to hope delivery? What is network layer? What is the host to host delivery? Okay, what is source to destination delivery, or we can say host to host delivery. Then transport layer, okay, and the application layer. And finally, we will combine all this we'll see this example. Okay, and this addressing, now you know that on the physical layer we have the bits, on the data link layer we have the frames, on the network layer we have the packets, on the transport layer we have the segments, on the application layer we have the message. Okay, the data link layer we have the MAC address, on the network layer we have the IP address, on the transport layer we have the port address, in the application layer you have the URL, or you can say the names. Okay, okay, so maybe in the next lecture we will end this module. So after that we will start with the physical layers.